can't believe we're doing this again. I can't even start this video the way I usually do because I'm just in shock. So, as you can tell by the title of this video, I'm pregnant again. It was definitely not planned. So in case you don't follow me, give you a little backstory. I have 2 sons. We have a daughter. She is back here drinking her milk, and she is 6 months old. Oh my God. Yeah, that's right. 6 months old. So I am 6 months postpartum and I'm pregnant. And that seems really weird to say. So I'm going to back up and tell y'all some of the symptoms I was having, why I even thought I was pregnant, why I thought I should even test, and then we will, I don't know. But I'm going to go to my fertility app. I use Fertility Friend. I have for years, like even before I started having kids. I use Fertility Friend, and it still has every one of my periods I've ever had. I can go back and see like when I conceived my other 3 babies and all of that stuff. So I love Fertility Friend, and I'm going to go back to June. So my first day of my last period I had was on June 28th, and today, what's today's date? Today is August 24th. So I had my cycle at the end of June. It went into like the beginning of July. I was supposed to ovulate like 2 weeks after that, you know, like you do. And then I was supposed to start my period on the 31st. I swear, there's no trains all day long, and as soon as I start filming, there's a freaking train. But anyways, I'm just gonna wait. Okay, I can hear it fading. So I was on vacation in Jellystone with my family, and on the 28th, I spotted just a little bit, and I was supposed to start on the 31st. So I was like, okay, this is my period. I put on a pad just in case, went about my day. Nothing else happened, and then I was like, wait a minute. Was that implantation bleeding? So that's exactly what happened with Haley. That is my 6-month-old back here. We went to Jellystone, a different Jellystone, but we went to Jellystone last year, and I spotted while we were on vacation, and when I got back, I found out I was pregnant. So I quickly went to the store and bought some like little cheapo tests, and they were negative. And so I was like, okay, like maybe it's too early to find out. I was freaking out because I have a 6-month-old that was not planned for, but very wanted. And her pregnancy was a very big shock to me. If you followed that one at all and you saw like one of my first videos of when I was pregnant, I was in complete shock. And it took me like weeks to come around to the idea that I was gonna have this one back here. So the thought of being pregnant again, just 6 months later, there's a lot of emotions. But also, when I found out I was pregnant with Haley, I just kept thinking like, I know I'm gonna love this baby. This baby's a blessing no matter how it came about. I'm not gonna regret it one bit. I'm sorry, my dog is barking outside because my kids and husband are outside playing. But I accepted the pregnancy eventually and just knew that this was meant to be. It wouldn't have happened if it wasn't. And we had a baby. So when I was thinking that I was, but getting those negative tests while we were on vacation, I had, you know, went through the same thing, and that's what I came to again, is if this baby is in me, and that means that I was blessed once again, and that I was chosen to be its mother once again, and I'm not going to be upset about that. I'm going to be thankful that I have this blessing, even though It definitely was not in my plan, but I'm guessing it was in God's plan. So I bought probably 6 tests while we were on vacation, and we only had like 3 days left, and I bought 6 tests in that time and took all of them. Every single one of them were negative. Yeah, everything was fine. So we came back on the 1st of August, and I took a test on the 5th of August that looked suspicious. So I think it was like where the line should be. I'll put a picture up, but I'm pretty sure you won't be able to tell anything. But it looked like there was a line where the line should be, if that makes sense. But I really think it was like the indent line of like the test strip. So I freaked out a little bit, took several more tests. They were all negative. I have probably taken 15 tests leading up to yesterday. So after I kept getting negatives, like the week of the 12th, that was my birthday week. So I tested that week a couple of times, and then I was like, you know what? I'm not pregnant. So I stopped testing. On the 16th, I spotted again, and I thought I was starting my period. Put on a pad, prepared for all the things, and it was just like the bright pink blood in the morning, and then it got like extremely dark, and once again I was like, this is not period blood, this is implantation bleeding. And once again I was like, what is going on? Because I obviously ovulated, I don't know, maybe, and was the spotting I had the first time implantation bleeding, or is this implantation bleeding? I don't know. And if the first one was implantation bleeding, was this just regular spotting that you get during pregnancy? So I had like all these questions going through my head. So after not starting for a whole another week, because that was on a Monday, and then that Sunday I still hadn't got anything that looked like a real period. So me and Haley, we went to the grocery store by ourselves, and while I was there I happened to pass the pregnancy test, and I was like, you know what, it can't hurt, let's test one more time. So I picked up a 2-pack of the like off-brand clear blue digitals, because that's all they had. They didn't have any like line tests, they only had digitals. So but I like the line test because you can like see how dark the line is. So I was like, oh, gosh, like if I am like newly pregnant, this isn't even gonna show up. So I figured, let's just take it. So I come home, start unloading the groceries. When I got to that bag that the tests were in, I went into the bathroom, peed on the stick, all things. And since it was a 2-pack, I took one, and then I just put the other one in my drawer for, you know, when I'm freaking out next week that I'm pregnant. That's what I was thinking, at least. Let me get you. So this right here is Miss Haley. She is, like I said, 6 months old, and she's just starting to get hair. She's a little fuzz head. My dad. Anyways, so took the test, laid it on the kitchen counter, finished putting away groceries. I got the kids juice, went and talked to my husband outside because we got our first chicken eggs that day from our chicken flock. So excited about the chicken eggs. So wasn't even thinking about the test anymore whatsoever. And then like probably close to an hour later, my mind finally snaps and I was like, oh yeah, that thing, you know, that's gonna be negative. So I go and look at it, and like I'm not even like, I haven't touched it yet. I'm just walking up to it and I can see what it says. And it's not like one of those it's like yes or no. It's one that says, "I'm pregnant." And I'm looking at it and I'm like, where's the knot? Where's the knot? It's supposed to say not. So I took a couple of deep breaths, composed myself, and I walked outside. My husband was still out at the chicken coop because he was fixing things out there, you know, doing chicken coop stuff. So I put the test like in my waistband behind me where he couldn't see it when I walked up. And he's like showing me whatever he was doing out there, and you know, I'm like, oh yeah. finish your conversation. And so once he's done saying what he's saying, I told him, I was like, okay, so just for peace of mind, I got another test, and I'm holding it out as I'm saying, and my husband literally falls to the ground in shock. Yeah, in shock. So I'm asking him, like, are you okay? Like, how do you feel about this? What are your feelings? Like, give me something. I need something because I'm freaking out too. And he finally stands up and he's just like, I just really want you to be okay. Because if you haven't followed my last pregnancy with her, that's the only one I've documented, but every single one of my pregnancies has been really rough. I'm on bed rest pretty much the entire time with them because I start having early labor signs. I have had every single one of them early. I had my son at 36 weeks, so it is definitely a hard pregnancy every single time, and I know that 6 months after having a baby, I'm not going to be fully recovered, and it's going to be hard. I know I'm going to be on bed rest, and how am I going to do it with a new baby, a 3-year-old, and a 5-year-old? So after he composes himself and he gets up, you know, he hugs me, tells me, like, it's gonna be okay, like, we'll get through this, like, whatever it is, like, we will handle this, you know, it'll be fine. It's not what we planned, but it'll be okay. And so I had to go back inside because, you know, all the children are inside. So after that, we were just both very quiet for the rest of the day because we didn't want to say anything in front of the kids, but we needed to talk to each other. So later on that night, we let each other know, like, what our feelings were, and they were both the same, that no, we did not plan this. It's not ideal, but it's happened, and we're not going to regret it, and we're going to do our best to navigate the situation the best we can, and we're going to have another baby, and we're going to love it, and it's going to be adorable. That's all there is to say about it. So I actually backed up just a little bit. After I took the digitals, just to be sure, I went into Dollar Tree and got some more, and if you can see these, I'll put a picture also. I'll just put a picture because it's not going to focus, but these are all my tests. So I actually have a little video of me taking some more tests. I took the other digital, and I took the 4 tests that I got from Dollar Tree, and here's that video. So I didn't press record, but I just dipped this guy and I dropped these guys, and you can already tell. Oh my god. Oh my god. So as you can tell by that, instantly they were positive. Instantly. So I once again composed myself because I don't know what it is about, like, the first pregnancy test. You're like, you don't believe it. Like, who takes one pregnancy test? And also, y'all women that can wait the 3 minutes, oh my god. Like, I don't know how y'all do it, because if it's a line test, if it's a digital, like, I'm putting that thing down. I'm not watching those oblique lines. Like, that stresses me out. But if it's a line test, I watch, you know, the wetness run across the bar or the window or whatever you'd call it, and I stare at that thing until something happens or doesn't happen. So yeah, instantly, as soon as the wetness hit the area where there was supposed to be a line, there was a line. So I was like, okay, yep, definitely pregnant. And you can see by the picture I took that it's dark. Like, they are dark. So I'm not like a couple days pregnant. So after I took those, I called my husband into the bathroom and I showed him. I was like, look, it's true. Like, I don't think 5 pregnancy tests are going to be wrong. 6, including the one I took earlier. So we're pregnant, buddy. It's happening. And so we hugged, we had our moment. I called both of our moms and told them, because we're both extremely close with our moms, so we wanted to tell them right away. They both said the same thing, that they are both very worried about like my health side of it, but they are so very excited to have another grandbaby. And like they're almost afraid to be excited because they didn't know how we felt. And we told them, you know, like, we're accepting of it, it's okay. And so they're both very excited for another little baby. So at this point right now that I'm filming this, I don't know how far along I am at all. My first doctor's appointment is Friday, and that is in like 4 days. So I don't know if they're gonna tell me that I'm 4 weeks along or 8 weeks along. If I'm only 4 weeks along, I don't think that there's gonna be like where you can see the heartbeat yet, and that's gonna stress me out because I'm just gonna be wondering. But at least we can check and see if the pregnancy's in the right place and all of that. You are drooling all over your owl. I'm gonna make its hair ugly. Not gonna be fluffy no more. But we don't plan on telling any other family other than what we've told already, our extremely close family, until we know that everything's okay with the pregnancy. And I won't be posting anything on here until I am 12 weeks pregnant. So if you're seeing this, it's a viable pregnancy and it's continuing, I guess. But yeah, here we go again on another journey of pregnancy and having another baby. Oh, one more thing. I'm gonna say it right here to like keep myself accountable, and I really hope that I can do it. But since we have 2 boys and we have a girl, we're gonna try not to find out and be surprised on the day that it's born. And that's gonna be so freaking hard because I am a planner, and like I had the boys' room set up like boy themed before they were even here, had all their clothes washed, like everything prepped. And then for Haley, of course, she has all of her room prepped even before she was big enough to be in here. It's just, I just like to be planned. And the only thing I won't be able to plan is like the clothes, because the baby's gonna sleep in our room for a while anyways. But yeah, I think we're gonna try to wait and find out what the baby is. So if you are seeing this, put your predictions down below and I'll let y'all know when the baby gets here if you are right or not. But as of right now, that's where we stand in this pregnancy. I'm very concerned for a lot of things. And if you are going through this too and you are not absolutely thrilled to be pregnant and it was a big shock to you and you need some adjustment time to come to the idea of that it's happening, don't feel like you're alone and that you're wrong for having those feelings. Your feelings are very valid because babies change a lot. They change your entire world. And I told my husband, I was like, once again in our lives, our whole world is changing again. But that's okay. That's life. But it's okay to be worried and not upset. Like, I'm not sad or upset about it, but I don't know what the right word would be. But you have this, like, you envision your life and your future and what it's gonna be. And I envisioned, you know, like my 2 boys and my sweet little girl and her being our little princess and her being the baby. And like I said, I wasn't even planning on having her, but I'm so glad I did. So how could I be upset about this one? Because I know what it turns into. I know that it's going to be this beautiful baby that I love so much and that loves me. And if you are having these same feelings and you feel guilty for them, don't. Give yourself some grace. Because you know what? It's difficult. It's difficult knowing that your life is going to change again in a big way. And going through pregnancy is sometimes difficult as well, and it's okay not to be thrilled about having to go through the pregnancy. Like, I'm getting to where I'm almost happy that I'm pregnant, but I'm not happy to go through the pregnancy whatsoever. I still remember her birth very vividly, and I had her natural, so yeah, it's gonna be a challenge, huh, little girl? But it is a challenge that we are willing to accept, and we are very, very glad that God chose us to bless once again with another baby. But that's gonna be it for me today. I don't have much more to say. Don't have any definite answers or anything for you of how this even happened. I mean, I know how it happened, but you know the other details. Oh, my husband is scheduled for a vasectomy in 1 month. Yep, he sure is. And we're pregnant. Oh, yeah, that's it for us today. Say bye, Haley. Bye. Are you gonna be a big sister? Are you gonna be a big sister? Yes, you are.